you'll survive. Poisoned Productions.
Okay, so me and my boyfriend recently went to visit family and had to deal with the infamous airport. Now, I don't know if you've been to an airport. I'm assuming you have. Most people have at least seen the airport or the inside of one. It is 1,000 times worse during the Christmas season. So that is what we're gonna get into today. We had a bad experience with WestJet altogether, really, but specifically I have made a list of just like people in general that you meet at the airport that are just fucking assholes. Like, they make going to the airport shitty. I just hit something. And yeah, we're going to expose these people today. As you can tell, I am sick. I have I don't know, it's not really like a cold, it's kind of a cold, kind of a cough. Literally, my boyfriend had it before we went on holidays, my whole family had it when we were on holidays, and then somehow I got it when we returned from holidays. Like, how does that work? I'm not sure. But yeah, guys, let's just get right into it. Before we even get started, I'm going to just straight up say I have no apologies. These people are assholes, and if you're one of these people, you need to just stop. You need to just stop. I'll also at the end of this video be explaining our Christmas experience, which is why I decided to make this video. But yeah, that'll come later. Let's talk about the general people that are at the airport that just make the whole experience fucking shitty. So let's just get into it. People who don't know how the security line works irritates the shit out of me. Okay, they tell you like a bajillion times, A, you need to put your laptop in a separate bin. If you're bringing a laptop or a large electronic, hun, it needs to go in a second bin. If you are not sure if you need a second bin, bitch, take the second bin. Like, why even think about that? It's not like we're low on bins. It's not like they can't grab more. Like, if you're not sure if you should have 2 separate bins, take 2 separate bins anyways. Like, why even try and go through with one and then get up to the security person where they're like, ma'am, you're gonna have to take your laptop out and put it in another bin. Like, also, people who bring their winter coats and then try and shove their winter coat and their carry-on and their purse all in the same bin. It is just like this mountain of clothes, and you're just like, bitch, you can see how big the hole is that bin and all that stuff has to go through. That mountain is not going through there. You know what you need, bitch? You need 2 bins, bitch. Okay, I don't know where all these stingy bitches are that don't want to have the 2 bins, but if you're not sure, if you have too many items, or if you have large electronics, or you know what, if you're just fucking feeling like it, take 2 bins. It's not a big deal. It will continue the flow of people if you just took 2 bins, separated all your shit, and kept going rather than trying to stack it all in a hurry on 1 bin and then get up to the security guy and have him tell you, oh ma'am, you're gonna need another bin. Then he has gotta walk to the end of the line, grab the bin, and then they're like frazzled. They're just like, oh my gosh, I didn't know. And it's just like, bitch, really, bitch? Really, bitch? And the rest of us are standing behind them just like, bitch what? Bitch what? Like, I don't understand it. Like, I understand if it's your first time through the security, you know, it can be confusing because, you know, there are certain rules you just need to follow. But at the same time, use your fucking eyes. Like, that's, and the big, large electronics rule has been around forever. Bitch, you got a big electronic, they tell you, like, you're gonna have to put that in a second bin, 2 bins, bitch. 2 bins, bitch. Like, there should be a 2 bins, bitch rule. Like, that should just be the rule. Whether you need 2 bins or not, bitch, just take them. take the 2 bins. Like, they got bins to spare. That is my first pet peeve, is people who just like bog down the security line with their fucking stupidity. Like, just common sense, hun. You got too much stuff, you're gonna need more than 1 bin for it. No one here is judging you. Like, you take 2 bins, it's not like the guy behind you is like, shit, she's taking way too much. Do you see that? She took 2. She took 2. Crazy people these days. Like, no one's doing that. Just fucking get your shit, separate it so that it's in either equal piles, or get your large electronics by itself if that's what you're carrying, and get the fuck through the line. It's not rocket science. It's not. Oh my god, to continue with the stupidity is people who do not have their ID and boarding pass out to board the fucking plane. They announce it like 8 fucking times. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we will be boarding Zone 1. Zone 1, if you could please have your ID and boarding pass out. Anyone over the age of 18 will need a government issued ID. Please have both your ID and boarding pass out. Everyone stands up, gets in the line, and none of these bitches got their boarding pass or their ID out. Like, what? Apparently, these bitches is blind and fucking deaf, because they announce it, and like, do you think they're just gonna let you on the plane magically, Gertrude? Like, they need to prove you are who you are and make sure that your seat aligns with that fucking plane, you know? Like, I don't understand. And people get in line so early. There'll be this huge lineup, and it's just like, in all of that time that you were waiting in this lineup, you couldn't get those 2, like, card things out? Like, what do you mean, though? Anyone who doesn't have their boarding pass and ID out by the time they hit the front of that line shouldn't be able to get on that fucking plane. They should just be like, I'm sorry, ma'am, but we said it 8 fucking times. Could you get your ass to the back of the line, and maybe by the time you make it here again, you'll have those 2 slips out. Thanks, ma'am. Because what it does is it bogs down the flow of people. Because then you got someone at the desk like filling for stuff, whereas like 4 rows behind them, there's me and my boyfriend holding our boarding passes ready. I'm like, is there a fucking fast lane? You know, like Disney World, can I just cut all these fucking idiots? Can I just like cut in front of them and hand my shit over so I can get on the plane, because I know how this system works? Because I have ears and I was listening to all the announcements you guys made multiple times. Hi, yes, may I cut in front of all these assholes? Yes? Yes? Okay. So that is the second type of person that just pisses me right off at the airport. I'm just like, hun, what the fuck you doing? Okay? We had like a 3-hour layover and then you had to wait until they called your zone, and all that time you couldn't get your boarding pass or ID out. Like, bitch, you shouldn't be traveling. You should have to walk your ass with like a horse and carriage, you know, and trot your ass that way to whatever destination you're going to, because you don't deserve to get on a plane. Okay? I don't care if it takes you 4 years to travel the other way. That's what you deserve, hun. That's what you deserve. Oh, this has got to be another just and it's gonna come off super bitchy. This whole video is probably gonna come off super bitchy, but bitches got to know. Someone has to lay down the law, because no one has been doing it, apparently. People that talk to you during your flight when you don't know them irritates me beyond belief. And I have a story that goes along with this, so you're not just gonna be like, Tank, you're being totally antisocial. You know, that's super rude not to have like polite conversation with a little old Betty about her grandchildren. I'm okay with that. If you're like fucking 90 and you're gonna die like tomorrow, I will sit there for an hour and talk to you about your grandkids. That is not my beef. Old people, I will deal with you. I tolerate you. I live in a building of retired people. Like, I feel you. You are my people, hun. But it's the assholes that are like younger than 90 but older than like my age, those people in the middle that want to talk to you, because people my age don't talk to me at all. If I sit beside a girl or a guy my age, honey, there's no talking. We both like nod at each other, put our headphones in, and we know what the fuck is up. It's those people in the middle, like 35 to like 65, like in there. Do not trust those people. If you get sat beside a stranger and they look like they are in that age range, bitch, that is a red flag. That is a red alert, hun. Red fucking alert. That bitch is gonna talk to you. So I have a story. I was flying Air Canada once, which wasn't overly impressed with, but they got me to my destination, so that was the real point of this. Now I get on the airplane and there's this older gentleman sitting next to me, but not like old. He's probably like 45, 40s in there, which isn't old by any means, but like older than me. When I say old, I just mean older than me. And absolutely reeked of weed. Like, I had a hard time breathing around him because the scent was so strong. And my beef is not with people who smoke weed. I don't give a fuck. If you want to do it, go right the fuck ahead. My beef is with how bad it smells. It smells like a skunk came in, sprayed you, and then you got like struck by lightning, burnt, and then like ran over by a semi, and then you fell into like a pile of manure, and then got up and came and sat beside me. Like, that's kind of the smell it gives me. And it was so strong. It was like he bathed in like weed cologne, you know what I mean? Like, it was so potent, it made me nauseous. And we had a 2-hour flight together. What? I hate people that do that. Not even that it's the weed smell, but people who like bathe themselves in cologne, bathe themselves in perfume, when they know that we are going to be in a tight cabin together. Like, fuck off. I don't want to smell whatever you think smells good, because guess what? I might not like it. Not the point of the story. So, guy was making me nauseous with his smell, so I already had a bad first impression of him. Well, don't you think this man proceeds to talk to me the entire 2 hours of the flight. I had been traveling at that point for probably a good like 6 hours. Like, I remember there was I get up early, I get to the airport early, which means I have to get up even earlier to get ready for it, all that. It wasn't my flight from my home city, so I'd already flown to another city. I had a layover in that city, and now I was on this flight to my final destination, and I think the flight had been delayed too, so we were already running late, and this motherfucker who's making me nauseous the whole flight decides that we're gonna have an in-depth conversation for 2 fucking hours. I cannot think of a more rude thing that people can do. Traveling is already stressful. You are already not happy that you're doing it. If I could fucking transport somewhere and not have to deal with everyone else around me, hun, call me up. Even if you're not done testing it, if I like show up to my destination with like a missing asshole in one arm, like, I don't give a fuck. I will be your test subject. I will be your test subject. Please pick me, because it's awful. And like, you're already stressed, you're tired, you're in a situation you don't want to be, and then someone decides to just push their life on you. It's like, back it the fuck up. Like, I don't want to be here. I'm just traveling to innocently go to a family function, and you're in my business making me nauseous, and then you won't shut the fuck up. Like, I'm sorry, I don't care what's going on in your life. Do I look like a therapist? No. And he wasn't like friendly, just like haha, he was kind of like pushy. Like, he wouldn't let me just like put my headphones in and ignore. He was like constantly asking me questions, and I'm just like, dude, I don't fucking know you. I don't need to give you any of this information. So that's a New Year's resolution for 2018. I'm just gonna say no more to strangers. Like, no. You know, it's like, it's one thing to have to deal with old ladies talking about their grandkids, whatever. It's another thing to just have to deal with someone who just wants to talk to you, and I'm like, dude, fuck off. Out of all the times that a stranger needs to talk to me, like, traveling is not fucking one of them. That is when I just like do not have patience for anyone. I'm like, no, I need to get to point A to point B, get the fuck out of my face. You need to get those headphones in as quick as you can. But then the stewardesses yell at you. They're like, no, you need to keep those out till our safety demonstration. It's like, bitch, you mean the one where you tell me how to put on a seatbelt? Like, yeah, that's definitely saving me. I know that the things come down from the ceiling and I should secure my own before someone else's. I've got that fucking memorized, and I could probably be a stewardess just from how many times. Do you know what I mean? You know, check for all exits and you know, be aware that the closest exit might be behind you. Like, I did half their speech right there. So, yeah, my rant on people who talk to you during your flight. Hate it. Hate it, and we need to all just, I think, respect people's privacy. And it's one thing to have like a polite, short conversation. It's another thing to trap someone for 2 hours with your weed smelling ass, okay? This is another one that bugs me, is people who just stand in the way. There's so many people at the airport that just stand in the way. They're not doing anything. They're just in the way. It's not like they're in a lineup for something. It's not like, you know, they're doing so. They're just like talking to someone else just in the most inconvenient fucking spot ever. Do you know what I mean? It's like 5 people are just talking to each other, already got their luggage at the luggage carousel, and you're just like, that's my bag. Like, could you fucking move, bitch? Move your ass. Get your fucking luggage and get the fuck out of the like luggage carousel area. Okay? Okay. I hate people that do that. I hate people that just like stand in the way and are completely oblivious of everyone else around them. Like, what are you doing? That's like the people when you're getting on the airplane and they're just like slowly like taking off their jacket, putting it in their seat, like slowly lifting their thing up and then, you know, taking it back down, being like, oh, you know, it might be nice to have like a little snack during the flight, and they take out like 12 things out of their little carry-on and then they zip it back up, and you're just like, people are trying to get on this fucking plane. Samantha, like, get the fuck out of the way. Put your carry-on in the above compartment and sit your ass the fuck down so everyone behind you can get into their seat. And then when everyone else is sitting down, you can get the fuck back up, get whatever you need out, and put it back. Like, it is not rocket science, but for some reason people just think that like their shit is just like immediately what they need to do. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, the minute you travel, the minute you genuinely realize how stupid people are when it comes to common sense. And like, I'm right there with you. I do dumb shit too, but like, fuck me, I don't do shit like that. Like, what in the actual fuck though? On this last note, I don't want to make this too long. There's definitely other things that I hate at the airport, but I want to keep it kind of short and sweet. Other people that I hate at the airport are the people who rush through the aisle once the plane has landed to get ahead of everyone else to get off the plane. None of us want to be here. None of us. None of us want to be on this plane. We all want to get off this plane, and we all want to get off as fast as possible. The only way that that is acceptable is if the flight attendant has been like, okay, anyone making the connecting flight to, you know, New York, you can get up and get off first. We're going to let you get off first because you need to make your connecting flight. It's leaving in 2 seconds, so you better fucking run because it's at the other end of the airport. That is the only time when it is okay for other people to get their ass out of, you know, their seats and book it in front of everyone else. I'm totally down for that. You do you, and good luck. Hopefully you make your flight. Anyone else is just being a dick. You know what I mean? When they like come 4 rows up and they're standing beside your seat and there's still people ahead of you that haven't left yet, you're just like, hey bud, like, not that it isn't fantastic having your ass in my face while we wait to all get off the fucking plane, but could you fucking not? That'd be great. Like, people who do that are assholes. They're just fucking assholes. And I think as a society, we just need to join together and stop tolerating this, you know? It's probably the same guy who fucking talks to you on the airplane. Like, he's that guy. Yeah, those are my biggest pet peeves so far. I do have others, but I just thought to make this video not like a bajillion years long, that I would just do those. The reason I made this video is me and my boyfriend had a pretty stressful flight back for Christmas. We missed our connecting flight, got on a flight 3 hours later. They left our luggage in the city where we missed our flight, but there was like a 2.5 hour delay, so not sure why the luggage didn't make it. And then there was all this confusion with like WestJet was like, we're gonna call you, but then they never did. So then we showed up at the airport and they're like, you should wait till someone calls you. The flight that your luggage was coming in on got canceled. And I'm like, you didn't want to call and tell us that? Like, what are we just supposed to, what if like a week goes by and I haven't got a call from WestJet? Am I just supposed to hope that you guys call me at some point when I'm talking about my luggage? And it was coming out from Christmas, so obviously it had presents in it and all of our clothes. We had to go and buy like a toothbrush because we were doing second Christmas at my boyfriend's like family's side when we got back. Oh my god. So finally, like, then we got a call a day later and they're like, one suitcase made it, but the other one's still on its way. And we're like, well, we're not driving out there till you got them both. So when you figure it out, Glenn, call me back. So finally we did get our luggage. Everything is good now, but it was just like, it was just kind of like, really unorganized is how it felt. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't that our luggage took extra time to get here, that's fine, but like how they handled it was just like really weird. And they were just like, well, you should have waited till we called you before you came out here. And it's just like, well, how long were we supposed to wait though? I've got a lot of stuff in that suitcase that I would like back. But other than that, our flights were good. There was Canada had a lot of really bad weather the days we were traveling, and so a lot of flights got delayed or canceled. That's Christmas. But anyways, guys, that is all I have for you today. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, or if you find any of these assholes. If you agree with me. If you disagree with me, let me know too. Let me know if there's any other things that bother you about people at the airport, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post a video every weekend-ish. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video.